Thank you, David, and thank you, Montana Standard. I love Butte, Montana. Butte is my home. I was born and raised here. This is where we raise our kids, and hope to see our grandchildren thrive in this community. I'm married to Florence Dick Fisher. Her nickname is Beanie. My parents were the late Dave and Helen Fisher. My brother was the late Dave Fisher. I have 10 brothers and sisters. My wife has 7 brothers and sisters. And we live here in Butte, and we enjoy living here and hope to have our grandkids live here. Do I just go on now? The reason I'm running for chief executive is I'm running as a candidate for chief executive of Butte Silver Bow. I'm not running against any of these people that are sitting up here with me. I'm running for chief executive. Everyone sitting at this table has a vast interest in being a candidate and a vast interest in our community. So I'm not running against anyone. I'm running for chief executive. The reason that I'm running is I feel I have the skills and abilities and the experience to lead our community to a better place. And by that what I mean is my years of experience in business management, sales, and compromising and negotiating will give me the tools that I need to lead us forward in the next 4 years. And by doing that, our main concerns that are causing us not to prosper the way we'd like to is because of roads and because of the Berkeley pit the way it is. Those seem to be the 2 major concerns that I have, and I feel that the wastewater treatment plant should be built along with the removal of the parrot tailings. That is an important issue. As that happens, I think we've got to move in and get a commitment from the state of Montana, the EPA, and ARPA to keep moving further to the west and clean up all the way from Texas Avenue to Montana Street or Oregon Avenue, whatever it takes from here to there. And as far as everyone in the audience, I'm sure you'd like to want to visit about the bike lanes and the angle parking and the garbage service. Those are all things that we have already voted on. They're out of the way. I lost that battle. I'm not happy that I lost that battle, but they're over and done. And I'm going to look out the windshield and out the rearview mirror on those issues. As far as the pool goes, the pool is an issue that's in the hands of the voters, and that's where it should be, is in the hands of the voters. If the voters decide that we want a pool in the Lazy River, I'm all for it. To be honest with you, I'm for the pool issue. I'm not going to dodge that question. I'm for the pool. If it's voted for it, I'm happy. If it isn't, we will work with whatever happens at that point. Thank you.
David?
Thank you, Dave. I was born and raised in Butte to Larry and Maddie Palmer. I was the number 5 in a family of 11, so I know what it takes to fight for everything. And I've resided in Butte my entire life, except for the 4 years that I served in the U.S. Army. I came back and I married Betsy Shea. We've been married approximately 39 years. We have 4 children, Sarah, Johnny, Danny, and Mikey. We have 7 grandkids, 2 sets of twins in there, so it multiplies fast. I'm a licensed master electrician, owner and operator of Palmer Electric, a small electrical contractor business. I also am the lead engineer at St. James Community Healthcare, doing maintenance there. I've been very active in the community over the years. I've been on the Council of Commissioners for over 19 years, and I've served on every standing council the council has, every committee the council has, and have been chairman of all of them. I served 4 years as chairman of the council. I serve on numerous boards and commissions over the years. I currently serve on the Public Housing Authority, which ensures good quality, safe housing for all individuals. I'm on the BLDC Loan Committee. Safe Space, I was on there for numerous years. I'm president of Our Lady of the Rockies, and yes, we will have a tram. It's just getting closer and closer, but we will have it. I've worked on the chemical-free parties for Butte High when my kids graduated there. I was in the Kennedy School PTO forever, it seems like. I was on a fair board, so I'm really interested in what's going on with the 4-H kids these days, and I think there's going to be a good outcome to that, I hope, because it's all about the kids, not the parents and the leaders. There are a lot of issues. I'm in favor of the pool. I think it'll be a good thing for Butte. As we've always said for years and years, there's nothing for the kids to do. I think we need a good quality place, and that will ensure some place for them to go spend their time. Stoggy Park will be a quality place, especially if we get the pool, the carousel going, which is coming along great. I happen to volunteer there doing some electrical work down there. And I'm glad for the sake of the carvers that have been working for so many years that it's finally getting done. I guess there's a lot of issues out there, but I'm more interested in hearing what your questions are, so we'll end it there.
Cindy?
Thank you, David, with age comes reading glasses. So, good evening and thank you to the Montana Standard for hosting tonight's forum. My campaign themes are people, priorities, and possibilities. I believe one of the greatest selling points about Butte, Montana is its people. Butte's people will give you their shirts off their back and more. We're caring, we're generous, we are independent. When new folks come to town, we love to share our history and what made Butte, Montana the place it is today. We also share our story and our history with visitors who come to see our amazing historic landmark district, a unique district we must strive to preserve. Secondly, what should our priorities be in the short term? The Bureau of Economic Research recently reported that Butte has grown just 1% in the last 4 years. I believe that Butte's economic growth is directly tied to a healthy, strong, and clean environment. However, let me be clear. As Chief Executive, I will support our current mining industry that supports and retains high-paying natural resource jobs here in Butte and wants to extend the life of the mine. But I will make sure that the EPA and state environmental agencies have behold their monetary commitments to our city. As the city that electrified America, we deserve no less. Speaking of money, we must follow the money. I've said this before and I will say it again. We must do a better job of being financially responsible. Our city-county budget is over $176 million and we must do a better job of cutting costs. I've seen firsthand local programs spending tens of thousands of dollars of supposed economic gardening, and when asked if any jobs were created, no answer could be given. To me, the answer was no jobs created. So what possibilities can we plan on in the future? As Chief Executive, I will champion our key anchors like Montana Tech and the high technology and connectivity advantages it brings to rural cities like Butte. Go to meetings should not just be a slogan. It should be a reality for businesses wishing to relocate their companies while enjoying heaven on earth. They can have a picture postcard way of life, skiing, fishing, hiking, right out their back door. These are things we must promote to bring people and businesses to Butte, Montana. And let's not forget the key, the glue of any city or county, its infrastructure. It may not be the most exciting issue of the day, but I will argue it's one of the most important. We must have a master plan for all public works, and this takes action. We must remember Butte's all of us, it's all of our future. Thanks again to the Montana Standard for hosting this event tonight. Please vote for me, Cindy Perdue-Dolan, on June 7th.
Mark?
Oh, thank you. Thanks to the Montana Standard for hosting this. Mark Revis. I am a new immigrant to Butte, Montana. Moved here sight unseen in 1981. It's the only place I've ever moved from. I got here as soon as I could from Pullman, Washington, where I finished all of my education with 2 degrees in architecture. Came here for our architectural internship. The town could not have been in more dire straits in 1981. There wasn't a single soul from MSU Architecture that wanted to do an internship. So here I am, and I got to be adopted by this town. I have a public service ethic that was ingrained by my parents. They were in every single club. They did all this, and I have always been involved in public service. And it has now prompted me to take action now. It may surprise you, because some people know I have no sports gene, but I'm a Washington State Cougar, so I don't have to announce an allegiance to either of those other teams on either side of us here in Butte, thank you to a higher authority. I know a college football coach quite well. He was a special teams coach for Boise State. My wife, Nicole, and I got to go on a VIP trip to the Fiesta Bowl. And the coach made the most amazing call. It was one of those things where it was a fake punt, and if it failed, he would have been fired. If it worked, it worked. It was amazing. As they say, he left it all out on the field. And Boise won the Fiesta Bowl. As coaches do, they go from school to school and they gain experience. I apply this to myself. I worked for Butte Silver Bowl for 21 years. Community development, planning, URA, public works, health department. I was the housing rehabilitation officer for Butte Silver Bowl. I was Butte Silver Bowl's architect. Housing rehab, I rehabilitated over 300 housing units, and I took a lot of cookie bribes from widows, which was a lot of fun. I learned a lot. I did such projects as the Belmont Senior Center from start to finish and the Granite Mountain Memorial. I say I have experience. My coach buddy, he then assisted at Washington State University, go Cougs, and then he went to the Washington Huskies. Boo. The name of this man that I know quite well is Jeff Cho. He is MSU's new football coach, head football coach. Sometimes, you thank a person for their service and then you just have to change head coaches. The Office of Chief Executive requires problem-solving capabilities, a forward-thinking approach. I've been listening for years, as well as going door-to-door for 3 months, talking to people, promoting positive change. Government is management of departments and resources, best decisions for taxpayers, dictated by taxpayers. Only when our local government has righted its own ship can we begin to prosper as a community. The time is now.
Thank you, Dave, and the rest of Montana Standard, and thank you, people, for coming out tonight because you were showing that you care about this community. I, Ronald Rolling, second son of Bob and Ann Rolling, and I'm married to Leslie Rolling, and I've been a lifelong resident of Butte. I'm not going to spew any more on my family. I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to do. Everything is on a card back there on my platform. The only thing that I will talk about tonight is anything on there, or we're going to go vote Sarge Rollo on June 7th. We are going to serve the public. A government entity provides services to you, the public. We're going to accept community input. Remedies for all problems. If we can't find a remedy for the problem, we are sure going to get together. I say we, not I, not you, we, as individuals, as a government, as a citizen, we are going to get together. We're going to move forward and not backwards. Things have been done, things have been voted on. We cannot change that unless we have another vote. But I say move forward from that and don't look back in that rearview mirror. Economic development. I'm going to use a little baseball analogy here. We have businesses in this community. They're hitting singles, doubles, an occasional triple. They're keeping the wheels turning in this community. We're going to look at other businesses, the larger businesses, REC, Northwestern, Montana Precision Metals. We're going to go look at companies that deal with those people, see if we can land another big company. Boom, we're going to hit that home run. We're going to hit that grand slam. We're going to move forward. We're going to give them our best pitch and bring them in here with those higher paying jobs. Get a livable wage for those employees. Make sure they're hiring good people. We're going to realize all the problems. We're going to organize for the future. Are we ready if MRI decides to close down again? Are we ready if we have another earthquake that formed Lake Lake, but closer here, the epicenter closer here to Butte, Montana, knocks that wall over? They cleaned up Milltown, knocks that wall over, that water's running now. They did not clean the source. Let's get proactive on that source and get it cleaned now. Not later, not tomorrow, now. We need to start now. We're going to listen to the people under my administration. I believe that the people in this community are the voices that need to be heard. What do they want? Instead of letting the commissioners vote on it as we elected them to, if they're going to elect to vote on one issue, let them vote on all issues. Don't put anything out to the bond. Let the voters decide on all of it. Do they want a new mill levy for that poll? Do they want that? It's got to be either one way or another, not pick and choose which one they want to vote on and which one they want to send to you, the voters. I'm going to lead Butte Silver Bow in a very proactive manner. Not in front of you, not behind you, but beside you as an individual. I am an equal, just as you people are equal to me. I am not above you. You are not below me. I am not below you, or you are not above me. We're going to create opportunities for the future. The opportunities for the future are great. You fix that infrastructure, as I know it can be fixed, they will move here. Thank you.
Thanks to the Montana Standard. Thank you all for coming out. Thanks to the Good America Radio Foundation for broadcasting this tonight. I'm Matt Vincent, and it continues to truly be my honor and privilege as your chief executive to lead this community. I love this place that we call home. From the west side, where I live now, to the east side, from Walkerville to the Flat, where I grew up, from Divide and Melrose, where I once lived for a period of time, to Rocker, Browns Gulch, Ramsey, and Fairmont. It's not always the easiest place to live, but thanks to our people, there's no easier place to love, which is why I love doing my job, making Butte better. And under my leadership, better we have become. In fact, one of the governor's economic development staff may have coined it best in a hashtag recently that seems to be gaining steam, better in Butte. And that's not just rhetoric, like you hear a lot of during the campaign season. In my case, it's a record. Butte Silver Bow's record of accomplishments in the last 3 years really is exceptional. Over $100 million in public infrastructure, including new water and wastewater treatment plants, a new emergency operations center, a new neighborhood center, and a new Butte Mooney Airport terminal and parking structure breaking ground in the coming month. Most impressive, these major infrastructure improvements are being done in a fiscally sensitive and prudent manner. Where else do you know that's put $40 million into water improvements without charging the ratepayers a dime in increases? Pretty special. We've made major updates in our information technology to increase our citizens' access to and engagement in local government and its services. Online bill pays, report a pothole, report a street light that's out, participation in surveys, feedback outlets, listening to the Council of Commissioners via public radio. Today, 1 in 6 of us here are accessing Butte Silver Bow's local government via our social media. That's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And of our website users, which are too numerous to count, nearly half of the folks that are doing it on their smartphone or their tablet. In the last 3 years, Butte has burst onto the 21st century scene of public participation in government, and we have more to come. In our environmental issues, knowing better is doing better. Behind 20 years of professional experience, I have brought new leadership to our Superfund management and decision making, leveraging new cooperation and input to the process, resulting in progress, both in the community and on the ground, or in the case of the Parrot tailings, out of the ground. So with that, I just would urge folks that we're making a lot of progress together. I'm working with you, I'm working for you, so let's keep the momentum moving forward. Thank you.